Howdy folks, welcome back to Richard Victory's Naval Command, the YouTube series where you get to see me, Richard Victory, demonstrate all kinds of ways you might want to avoid playing World of Warships. Today's match is Tier 5 Coing. I was doing some battleshipping, messing around with Germans and secondary builds, and had a really interesting game. It's not interesting for the usual reasons, although I do okay. It has more to do with, well, something I did by accident. Let's take a look. This match actually starts out kind of slowly. In fact, for lack of a better way of putting it, it's kind of awkward. I know there are two CVs in play, and I'm stuck off almost all the way by myself down between the two friendly CVs. Which means that if anyone's going to go for a carrier snipe, the first thing they're going to run across is me. So I decide what I'm going to do is vector north-northwest-ish to rejoin the main bulk of the force. What I'm sort of expecting with this map is usually the furball happens up in the top northeast corner. Nobody wants to go through the middle and get shelled from all sides. No one wants to go through the little cluster of islands. What's that, around the 4 line, the 3-4 line, because that just turns into a torpedo shooting gallery. So what happens is everyone sort of channels up the 9-10 line and slams into the fleet at the other, starting up top, who's coming across the top row, and the carnage happens in the top corner. So just gonna sort of join the lemming train heading up that way and look for some targets. Speaking of which, lemming train, pet peeve time, and I just did it myself. There's no such thing as a lemming train in World of Warships. Perhaps it's actually a term that's crept into World of Warships from World of Tanks. In World of Warships, you're supposed to stick together and move as a group. That's called a fleet. Two small groups of ships are called surface action groups. So you should either have 2 surface action groups or 1 fleet. There's no such thing as a lemming train. Either strategy is viable. So I just see an Okoknik destroyer skulking around. I drop some shells towards him to let him know he's been spotted. Light him up for the rest of the group, and then I turn away from him because smoke screens and torpedoes are just a thing. And then I see a Clemson. Now, I'm not really interested in having a U.S. destroyer get close on me, but he seemed bound and determined to head our way, so I start lining him up with the main guns. Put a spotter shot out, adjust, and unload on him, just basically peppering. He gets under 6.5 kilometers and my secondaries open up on him. Now, one thing you want to be clear about is that Tier 5, do not expect your secondary batteries to save you, even buffed as I've done with this captain. Your accuracy is atrocious. There are more shells hitting this coastline behind him than are actually landing on him. So I mostly want him to feel pressured and concerned, so I get lucky, put a couple of shells through his front deck, and finish him off. So that's good news. Now, I'm aware there are torpedoes in the water here. I saw the launch. So what I'm doing is keeping an eye on what's in the back, as well as the position of the torpedoes as I'm maneuvering around here. There's Duguay-Trouin, one of the new French cruisers in the back, so I drop a sighting pair on him. And that was 1 turret, by the way. You can see how wide those shells flew left to right, so adjust slightly to compensate and put the next salvo completely behind him, because reasons. As far as I can tell, literally everything flew to the right of where I aimed it, but okay. Looking around for what's in range and trying to make decisions here. You can see from the minimap the predictable has happened. The bulk of the enemy fleet is pretty much due north of my position and has run into the bulk of our fleet to the northeast of our position, and now they're both steering around in circles trying to stay at about medium range to each other, and no one wants to commit to moving forward. See a Kaiser sailing up from behind the island there, a little bit closer to than everybody else. He's well inside my gun range, so put some shells down on him. Don't really achieve anything, which is unfortunate. And start, basically I'm watching that dive bomber attack in the back just in case. It's not heading for me, so I'm not too worried about it. And the Kaiser noticed my interest in him, so he returns the compliment. He's really just far enough, it's not worth shooting at him. That... it's the Russian destroyer again. So start lining up on where he's going to come around the island. So take a lead, shots out, and then call him out. I'm actually pretty pleased with that. Most of those shells landed right around him, so my aim is okay. That was a combination of just not exactly enough lead and a little bit of dispersion. So trying to hit a destroyer at 12k is not easy, so I'm alright with that. But specifically what it's done is it's forced him to turn away. So I'm okay with that answer too. There's that Kaiser again. Take a lead on him and see if I can't get some shells on target. Just put a broadside downrange as opposed to chain firing. I usually chain fire just because I find I actually have better hit odds, but sometimes a broadside. If I know the target's roughly on a predictable course, I'll just broadside to speed up the process and saturate the target. So I see the Duguay-Trouin again, but he's not really in a good position. There's the Kaiser again, so I'll fire a pair of sighters at him out of the front guns. Watch where the follow shot is. Yeah, that looks good. Right on target. Excellent. Rapid fire. And nothing. Oh, okay, one shell hit, shattered. By the way, yes, I know I'm firing high explosive. It's intentional. I've been noticing that the percentage over penetration for battleship guns has been going up steadily. I don't know if it's my shooting has been getting progressively worse or not, but more even high tier, low tier, mid tier, I'm finding broadsides, chain fire, whatever. More than half the shells either bounce armor piercing or overpen. So I'm scoring lots of hits that are of no value whatsoever. So I have been experimenting with my battleship captains using high explosive or inertia fused high explosive and doing nothing but firing HE. As dumb as it sounds, I don't have as spiky a game as I usually do in a battleship, but I have been consistently doing more damage. I'm still getting citadels. You can actually citadel a British cruiser with battleship high explosive, particularly inertia fused high explosive. Hang on, incoming torpedo attack, and I'm stuck. Okay, I may not be dead. Friendly carrier did a strafing run, broke up the attack. I'm gonna take 1, 2. All right, not nearly. Wow. Okay, that carrier almost killed me there. If my friendly CV hadn't rescued me, I'd have been dead. So flooding, repair immediately. Throw the ship to slow down, and then the Miyogi is pushing the sidebar. So I'm already full of stern. Actually, stop, and now going full of stern, trying to get away from the Miyogi, who, as far as I can tell, is still full power ahead to slide down the borderline here. So he's in danger of getting the two of us killed. That's actually why I was at a full stop earlier. I was trying to avoid a collision with the Miyogi, which set us up for the torpedo attack. So we're taking some artillery rounds here as I'm trying to back away from this guy. Enemy Wyoming in the back. I've just taken some shell hits. Put some gun rounds down on the Wyoming. Just trying to get away from this Miyogi. We're just too tempting a target. Two ships moving slowly up against the zone wall like that. Okay, as soon as my repair comes off, cool down, hit that, and start recovering some health. And that's the Kaiser that's been shelling me back there, so I just let him know that I don't appreciate his interest in me. Fire some shells in his direction. Take a look at the tactical view. Okay, landed a hit on the Kaiser, that's good. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. The last thing I want to do is run into the Omaha, who's trying to get away from me. So trying to get a good look at the big picture. I've got 2 enemy ships targeting me at this point because, well, I'm big and I'm going astern and broadside. So firing on the Kaiser and intentionally traversing the guns slightly left to right, trying to stitch his ship front to back with high explosive. Okay, get a couple hits. Set a fire. That's good. Now, I make a slight mistaken judgment here. I need to turn around. I need to get away from these guys. And I make the mistake of not waiting for them to fire at me and then turning. So I take a pretty solid hit from the Wyoming, and then the Kaiser opens up on me as I'm in the turn here. Fortunately, I've already got the bow far enough around that most of those shots off the Kaiser just bounce off the armor. So that's okay. Check behind me, see what's around me so I don't run into anybody. And immediately switch my gun sight over to the starboard side of the ship to start swinging the cannons around. I need to get those rifles pointed the other way. Torpedo strike going in ahead of me, not aimed at me. That's good. I really can't take another one of those. And start looking for targets. I need to kill something. I need to get some of these guns that are aimed at me off me. Alright, AAA is firing. That's okay, but they're engaging fighters that are passing over top of me. And then I notice the Wyoming is parked broadside onto me. And the Kaiser is broadside to me and slowing down. So I'm angling my nose armor up and drop a salvo direct midships on the Wyoming. And since he doesn't really seem to be moving, I'll put the next volley of shells right down the same location. Shoot down another enemy aircraft, that's good news, and bang! There goes the Wyoming. Excellent. Another Wyoming coming from around the corner. We'll take a lead on him. AAA still firing. Enemy Kaiser. Kaiser's the easier kill. If I can get rid of him, and he's parked. Yep, that was slightly helmet head, but aim for midships, put a full broadside on him. Enemy cruiser coming around an island there, taking shots at me. Just going to keep turning, keep my nose pointed at him so most of what he fires bounces. Got to be careful because that does put me broadside onto those two battleships, but the other guy's firing armor piercing. Let's see what we can get achieved here. Alright, ripple fire onto the Wyoming. 5 gun hits, 1 shatter, 1 fire lit. That's excellent. He's burning. He's got a dive bomber heading his way that he needs to worry about. And if I can reload here, another 5 seconds, should be able to finish this guy off. Kaiser still firing at me. Wyoming still burning. Should have just broadsided him, but ripple fire instead. Chain fire. 3 more hits, 1 shatter. He's still burning. Good, good, good. Come on, sink, sink, sink before you shoot again. Nope, here it comes. Ouch. Yeah, that was a good hit. Secondaries open up on him. Torpedo attack. He's done. Excellent. And I got the kill. Nice. So I think he burned to death there. So that's good news. That's a 3rd kill and 30,000 damage. Alright, that's not bad. So, and the Koenigsberg in the back has decided he doesn't like me. Okay, so he's going to need to go, but I want to kill the Kaiser over here first. Easy target, low health. Get those guns out of the game. Because the difference in firepower between a maximum health Kaiser and a low health Kaiser is 0. They have the same health and same firepower. No, torpedo attack. The carrier's trying to kill me again. Now, the AAA on the ship, when you buff the secondaries, you buff the AAA, and the AAA on the Koeng works out to be remarkably good. And in combination with the friendly carrier, we get all but one of the incoming torpedo bombers. Turn over hard, get most of the damage at an awkward angle against the torpedo belt, where, oh, it's only moderate damage. Phew. Immediately repair. Now, please hold. So, there are missions in World of Warships. I've been working on one of them for a while. I'm stuck trying to get one of the tasks done at this point. Haven't done it yet. This piece here is taken after the end of the battle. I need to get the Dreadnought Award. Dreadnought is 120% of your hull damage from 4 different sources and survive the match. It's hard to do. The usual outcome is you either don't take enough damage and win, or you take enough damage and lose. So, wait a minute. I've just run out of all of my repair kits, and I'm down to my last 5,000 health? Wait a minute here. Now, when I say that I've been working on this achievement for a while, what I mean is dozens upon dozens of battleship matches, to the point I gave up. I actually was playing battleships to mess around with the secondary abilities. I actually had forgotten, up until this moment in the battle, about getting the Dreadnought achievement. And then I realized I have 3,500 health left, and the only thing between me and that Dreadnought award is that guy. Okay, he's dead. Good. I'm going to sail south and hope we win. There are only 2 enemy aircraft carriers on the enemy team left. If I sail south a bit, essentially any airstrike coming in is going to run across the top of the 2 cruisers that is heading into their cap circle. The carriers are going to want to kill those cruisers first. So if the cruisers can survive, we have 4 minutes left, 4.5 minutes left in this match, I get my Dreadnought achievement. Alright, that's the plan. Bravely, bravely, did bolt Sir up and run away. Richard, the plan is to sail south, away from the enemy airstrikes. Yes, but Richard, you have, 15-kilometer guns. You can clearly see those 2 carriers. If you sail forward just a little bit, you might be able to get some more damage, maybe get a 40,000-point game. Richard, the idea is to not die. They'll never see us. Okay, so 1 carrier down. The other one is sailing this way, kind of, but I'm never gonna get him. He's got 3 sets of torpedo bombers and a cruiser shelling him, so 2 cruisers shelling him. He's just done. It's a matter of time. What's I find funny is the 2 carriers are now following along behind me. I think they mistakenly decided I was here as an escort. But no, that wasn't at all the idea. Little glitch there. But yeah, goodbye, Bogue. It was good not knowing you. And there we go. That's the match, pretty much. Just 1 or 2 more shells and this fight's over. There, done. And there we are. It's official, ladies and gentlemen. Task number 8 completed. Wargaming, if you're listening, really, achievement chasing, even... there's got to be a better way to do missions. So yeah, officially the Dreadnought Award. I've gotten this 4 or 5 times already. It's just getting it on command is difficult. As a battleship driver, this is a really hard one to do. Middle of the pack on damage done. I can't really claim to be surprised about that. Just wrong ship, wrong build, wrong place most of the match. So, but still, okay. So, 30,000 damage done, so yeah, okay, 15,000 of that damage done by fires, so that's cool. Somehow managed to get 11,000 points of spotting damage, and managed to spot over 1.2 million in torpedo damage. It had a premium account up, so took home a tidy profit of around 97,000 credits. For a Tier 5 match, I'm alright with that. So thanks very much for watching. I appreciate you taking the time to join me here. If you have comments, questions, or suggestions, please hit the comment button. I'd love to hear from you. Also, I'd very much appreciate it if you'd hit the like button and help folks such as yourself find my videos. If you'd like to be notified when I release a new video, just hit subscribe. All the best. See you on the high seas, the world of warships. Cheers. Bye-bye.